I see someone says Rayful. Yeah, I know Rayful really good, man. He's like my spiritual brother, man. He's a amazing dude. Yeah, he did. He was messing with um her Griselda Blanco's sons. He been in 30 something years. He's just the most amazing guy. Never didn't have no bodies on his case. Just drug dealing. He had a life sentence, then a 40-year sentence. I mean, it's crazy to think that they ain't let him out yet. Even Big Meat's like, man, he got 20 years in now. 6 years ago or whatever. It's like, man, it's so much wasted time. Just
Yeah, shout out to Noel De Jesus in the chat. Said he's doing 68. 68
60.
years. He's 19 in.
Man, I'm praying for you, man. I know it's not easy. I met a dude once. And they called Old Timer Joe. He was a big Nuestra Familia dude. He would tell me, I'm like, how much time you have in? He's like, 53 years. I used to be like, damn, 53 years. And that was always something we thought about I was 27 years old, ready to retire. Because I used to think, imagine they caught me today. What's life in prison look like for me? Man, that's a long time. Big Meech is obviously like a lot older than us. He was doing it for a longer time. And that's another thing. Like Chucky Chingon is mentioning Rayful Edmonds' story. 18 of his family members went to prison. His mom, his sister, his brother-in-law, his dad. Everyone served 10 plus years at least. His sister did like 18. It's like, man, when you think about the damage the feds did to his whole family, you're like, wow. And that could have been us. That could have been us. And that's something that used to worry me when the feds start knocking, on your family's door and they're like, oh, we're going to take your house. We're going to take your cars. And, they locked up my sister once working at the business. And it was like, man, how do what do you do? It's something to think about.
Yeah, salute to Noel De Jesus. I don't know what you did to get 68 years, brother, but that's a long time.
Yeah, man.
Who's that you talking
This
about?
dude, this dude popped up in the chat and said he was doing 68 and he was 19 in.
Man, now, like when you hear that, I want to feel like, man, I want to give him my number. Say, bro, call me. I'm here for you. Shit, when you hear
Damn,
stuff like
man.
that,
Salutes
and
to
you,
Hey,
him.
bro. The government will always take you snitching, bro. It's always a time you could change your mind if you have someone to snitch on.
Oh shit!
no,
It's
but look,
never too
look, a
late.
person like that, like you said, obviously, someone like that don't cooperate. Got doing 60 something years. Like Barbie's doing 50 after he cooperated. But I know that he'll tell
Damn.
you the truth. You wake up 5 years down the road every day. You think about your family, how much time went by, and everyone forgot about you. 6 years, and that shit feels so real. It hits you in your like a ton of bricks to be.
I just started, Chingon. Yeah. I
I mean,
apologize.
I can't even explain to you. Like, you have to live through it to understand what it feels like to be buried alive. Literally, and have people, telling you what to do all day and being assholes, and it sucks for anyone to live that way. Let
Yeah,
alone
I
to.
think I'm gonna tell you. I think what helped my brother and I. We always were open. We always had like we were always boss, but we always had a boss, and we always knew how to take orders. And we never let that power get to us. But it's hard for, especially for those people who are in prison that don't like to take no shit or think that they owe something to the streets. That streets don't care. There's no such things as
It's
the
another thing
streets
people
caring for
like to
you.
say in the comments. They like, oh, the streets is talking. The streets are fucking lie too. What you talking
Yeah,
about?
the fucking streets are the worst thing, bro. Like it's the rule of the game, bro. At the end of the day, we're the people. Me and my brother, example. The friends are the ones that are gonna get you, and I'm gonna use me as an example. Those gonna be your friends are gonna be your worst enemies, and that goes down through every one of our stories. And in the streets after that, there's no winning. If
Man,
you
look,
want,
you in the street like that, man. Them dudes, you get killed by some rival gangbanger. Nobody helps you pay for the funeral, man. They give you $1,000.
bro, I'm gonna tell you. I think we got more. We would get requests from the gang asking us to donate for funerals, and we were doing. Like, bro, like they don't take care of you. You know what I'm saying? People die every day for that shit. It's like it's a joke, bro. Like,
Your boys are trying to get on your girl, and It's
LV
sad,
LV
man.
LV says 60 years. Shit, I'm giving up Wi-Fi passwords, addresses, recipe books, everything.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're keeping it real, bro. Like shit. For all those people, like I remember I used to have dudes that'd be like, man, I spent 28 years in the shoe, youngster. You ain't about that. You should be like, bro, I ain't trying. Like, you think I give a fuck about what some dumbass motherfucker says? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like, that shit don't impress me. Yeah, we always said that shit didn't work on me in third grade. This shit gonna work on me now.
right,
But
Like,
wait, I don't want to sit here and say that I went in with that mentality because obviously I didn't start off that way. It's a learn something you learn with along the way, and you see people, you know, you see the way people act with others, and when we would lose people, we help them pay. We're paying bills and sending money to prison, sending lawyers, and then sometimes people would send little messages like, "Oh, we need more money." And I used to be like, "Man, ain't no retirement fund for drug dealers, man. Ain't no
right,
social
right,
security. Like you out there flossing, fucking buying cars and houses, and then shit go wrong, and you want to put that out on us. It kind of sucks because who do we have?
yeah, I always said that it's always like people always look to us for answers. Shit, who do we look for answers? And I'm gonna tell you, some of those dudes that say that they're men and they're this and that, man. It's easy to say, bro, but um, most of the time, all the dudes were around, like we were the person to look for answers or for help, and who do we have? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
You
tell you
think
this much: the boss ain't gonna listen to us saying, "Hey, I need your help," and we get the out of here.
you think
Shit.
you think Chapo and Mario were like, oh, let me see what happens to him. Hey, let me help them out, man. They don't give a. You know what they're gonna say? See who's around. See what shit we could take from them.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, shit, you didn't owe them money, and to them, you still owe
Yeah.
them money. So it is what it
Mm.
is. How did it feel to flip on Tommy, and if y'all still had some type of relationship, or if you know anything about him or whatever?
Oh, my top boy Tommy from the book. I want to tell you, man. I love the way the book was actually presented, like on the Audible for cartel wise, right? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, man. Tommy was my best friend. He was my right hand man. He went from being a supplier to being my worker, always at my side. Uh, we saved his life plenty of times. The biggest thing that hurt me was that he chose the life instead of us. You know what I'm saying? And he suffered the consequences. He's been in prison. He got a total of what, 19 years? Pete? He got 19 years,
22.
22 years. That shit hurt. But he had the choice. Um, he was like, man, we had shared intimate moments. When I tell you he was my best friend, uh, basically we practically spent every day together from the age of, how old was I, P? 19? No, 20?
No, I mean, yeah, probably around 18,
Imagine that
17. Yeah.
he was our supplier, and later on like,
To me, he was family, man. When I think
he
about it,
was
I hear
family.
him. I feel like my heart hurts from him, man.
Yeah,
My eyes tear like because
he,
not
he was
just that,
family.
not just because of him going through everything he's going through, but just to think that relationship ended that way. And not only
Mhm.
him, but you guys know, like one of my closest people was Michael King, Big Mike, rest in peace, and Kylie Murray. Man, those were people like that. Like, man, we were like brothers, bro. Like we are a family. And it
I'm gonna
just
I'm gonna tell you, especially for us, like, man, I still got dudes to this day, man. For us, I was closer to some of my these guys than the people I grew up with. Also, these dudes, either black or Mexican, to us, it never mattered. And one of my guys, he called my mom his mom. You know what I mean? Um, and, like, the relationship, the brotherhood was different. Started from from nothing, and you always ask, like, man, could it be that they still cool with each other? Like, yeah, shy. That's what it is, because real is real, and nothing changes. And Tommy was one of the dudes that I'm sure he had a different view of it. You know what I'm saying? Because he chose that life instead of us, and decided not to cooperate. And his family was deeply embedded in what was the cartel, and it's probably still is. And it hurt me. You know what I mean? He gave us the opportunity to kind of start in the business, and he respected us when we surpassed him. and took a position in our organization and benefited from it. But he went from him supplying us to him saying yes, boss, right? And he was my right hand man, and
Takes
I
a
think
lot of
about him all the
character.
time.
Takes a lot of character to do that without bitterness.
Oh yeah, no, he was all for us, shy man. He was always
Yeah,
like, I want to see you win, man. Like, and then he would tell us, man, the position you guys had, man, you don't understand. And he was always like, in our corner, man, like, cheering us on, and I
yeah,
pray that
man.
he's not a regular kind of person. He's an amazing person. I'll tell you that. What's
Mhm.
weird is that my brother and I were like, first of all, telling everybody, look, go ahead, man, make a deal. They don't give a shit about y'all. They want us. Just tell them everything.
I think we
People
spent
already.
more money. We spent more money sending attorneys to them, trying to get them to tell.
Mm.
Uh, and some of them wouldn't listen. I guess I'm gonna tell you something. One of my guys, a real close guy, one of my guys, I remember I had to get on the phone with him, and I remember telling him this. I said, "Hey, yo, bro, you know, a couple weeks ago, if I would have told you to jump out the bridge and you would have been good, what would you have done?" He said, "Shit, jumped out the bridge." And I was like, "Shit, then jump off." And he said, "Done." That dude didn't do not one day in prison, right?
Huh.
And for those people who didn't, there's a lot of shit. Just some of my guys were not fortunate and took the hard road and got life, 30 years plus. You know what I'm saying? Everyone has a choice. You know what I'm saying?
So,
I
it's February 11th. 2 days ago, my man, Gus Campos, got caught with a load of like 370 keys. He got life sentence. And I think about him all the time, man. It's been
uh,
20 years. I think about the
I
last day I seen him, and it just, what could we do for him, man? And when he first, tried to make a deal, I was like, man, well, I expected him to make a deal. He was looking at a life sentence. I mean,
As a
what could
matter of
we
fact,
do?
I just to add to that, I remember him writing to us that a year later, like, "Is it okay for me to tell?" And I'm like, "Man," sent the lawyer to him like, "Tell, bro, you should have been told." And he took the hard road, and I think about him all the time as well. Good guy, first time offense, uh, good dude, bro,
That's what I'm saying.
smart
People say,
guy.
oh, you could have got 10 years. His first time offense, non-violent offender, doing life in prison.
Bro, I don't
He's
understand it.
20 years
Yeah, but
into it.
what people don't understand when people say, "Oh yeah, they could have done," they're like, "Bro, you know what you're talking about. You're talking." The fact that you even mentioned that is stupid. I will tell you this: 5 years statute of limitations. They lock up 10 of my guys in the street. I'm looking at CCE. I'm never coming home. I was looking at CCE way back then. Again, different levels to the shit. You speak on your level that you know about. Stay out the big boy shit. We know what the fuck we're doing. We knew the guidelines before we even knew what the elementary book looked like. Right? We were born into this shit. Not like everyone else. We didn't pick up on it later. We were born in the shit. By the time I was 10, what a level 38, what a level 42 looked like. When we signed off for our agreement, we were at level 59. Get it right, 59. The guidelines go to 43. Just for put things in perspective. So, you know, just for people to understand. I want to tell you, hey, traffic man, much love for you, bro. Sam Germ. I was actually thinking about today being Super Bowl Sunday. I used to always make sure that everyone ate on Super Bowl Sunday, make sure everyone had a good meal. I would do party mixes and grab bags just to make sure everyone had a good time in prison. I always think about all those people I left behind, and I'm sure that it's being missed right now, and it doesn't, uh, there's not one day I don't think about that shit. It was hard for me actually, just to leave everybody behind and all those people that kind of stood there. And I know I was gonna be missed in a way because I knew what I meant to them. So much love to all those people who are still locked up for sure.
It's funny that people take that everything you just said or everything that maybe Sam Germ was saying in the comment, and then they'll say, "Yeah, they were extorting Jay. He was feeding everybody. He was, you know what I'm saying? That's that Sammy the
Nah,
Bull type,
yeah,
mentality. Like you do something for somebody, and then they turn around and they say it in a manner that isn't what it was. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
it's
saying?
funny because they were shy, but I'm gonna keep it real. Like everyone knows, I
Shit.
used to tell everybody, and people, I was always shy, but when it came to that type of shit, I was out loud, and I would always used to tell everybody, man, I'm gonna play nice, but don't get it fucked up, and I'm gonna tell you, ain't no matter where I went, and I know this is gonna offend people, and I know what I'm doing. I was always boss, no matter where I went. I don't give a where I was at. Until that date it changes, then I'll let you guys know. But wherever I went, I was boss, and that shit wasn't happening.
But shit, I ain't gonna lie, shit, I try to, my last couple of years, man, I did everything I could just to follow the rules and try to do the right thing. And man, it wouldn't get through to the staff, man. They were on my ass for anything and everything. And I had a lot to lose. I didn't want to lose my visits. My kids are dependent. They depend on seeing me, and
Mhm.
you put up with a lot of bullshit in there, a lot
No,
of rules.
yeah, I always tell my brother, man. I used to be like, "What the fuck is you doing?" But big shout out to, I'm gonna tell you, Solo. We have a boy named Oscar, Speedy, all those dudes that I did long time with. I seen that this dude Dean made a video with real recently on
Yeah,
that.
somebody asked that in the chat earlier. They asked if Gene was telling the truth that he knew about
Well,
Felix.
listen, I'm gonna tell you that I called him split. Yeah, for sure. That motherfucker. We had to keep his ass in check because he was a split. He was out of control at times. He, you know, some of the stories he got a little confused, but I see what he's doing on YouTube and stuff like that. But for all those people that came across and they're keeping it real, you know what I'm saying? You know, when you're in there, it's all about getting through it. And I met some, really good people. Some good people that never be able to come home, and some people will be coming home soon. But um, especially to my boy Solo, right? He's gonna be able to listen to you one day. I'm hopeful. I'm like hopeful that he will be. He's been in prison since he was 15. He's going on 49 now,
Damn.
and you know what I'm saying. It's like those type of people that
Yeah,
makes you understand life and what it is. But as far as I just want to
Rayful, Rayful
pray
as
for
well.
him.
People like that, and Tim
Yeah,
out there too. And you know
yeah,
what? Black Twin, man, wherever they're at, Black
yeah,
Twins out
man.
there. Bernie Involvement,
They
man, just
Bernie Baumer.
send them.
I'm gonna tell you. I think you question this. You always wonder, man, is there really dudes that caught up on this shit and they're still cool? Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of dudes out there that out of respect to them. At the end of the day, man, this was more about just businesses. Some of them people are like family to us. They call my mom. We call them brothers. Like there's some real hood dudes. Had a big impact, especially in the hip hop culture in Chicago. That are still out there that we consider to be fam for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you spend that much time with people, that shit becomes family.
And then with the raw stuff too, Shy, you locked up with someone, and especially you already made a deal, and you get to just be yourself. You ain't hiding behind no fake shit, no gang stuff. You kind of, you build a different relationship with people.
Yeah, no, I mean, you wanted to have a functional fucking place to live. A couple common senses walked in.
Just to make it clear, like Gene, um, I met him and yeah, he was around us for sure.
Gene, yeah, Gene
Yeah,
Borello.
Gene Barillo. I knew actually Johnny A. Like I came across a bunch of people too as well. So they're just different worlds, right? To make it clear. Yeah, they know that I was actually locked up with Javier Arrellano Felix, and he was my really close friend for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy how he pops up in your cell. That's nuts.
Yeah, that's a crazy story. A big man. He's always
Well,
gonna be a part of.
he was
10 years
blessed.
I did with him.
I got stuck with Sammy the Bull. Hey, well, listen, and somebody else asked about the race. Honestly, I think that being Mexican is important, but man, we got people from everywhere, from Colombia, Honduras, Guatemala, you know, Nicaragua, Dominican Republic, Costa Rica. Everyone's involved in the game to a certain point. And you got Puerto Ricans and Cubans. You don't have to be Mexican. You got to be a good businessman. I mean, you had Canadians down there, doing business with the bosses. it wasn't, all, just a race thing. It's about, like Val likes to say in her show, green.
That was about the green. Hey, old 30 North. Well, I'm gonna tell you why there was a drought. Because we went to prison. Plain and simple.
That seems it. 2008 right there.
LV, I want to mention this. It said, are they really eating a Chick-fil-A and steaks in prison when you have paper respect? Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. For sure. You eat good. Um, if Sam's still on there, he'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's basically anything you want, but you just gotta make sure that how you carry yourself, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you have money or whatever people might say it is. It's also about how you carry yourself, the type of person you are, because not all money is good money. But yes, a good. Thanks to the prison staff out there. Big shout out to them.
Yeah, for sure. And about the money thing, man. Look, my brother and I came in. We forfeited over $40 million, in cash. Like, when people get to that, they're like, holla at me. You know what I'm saying? For you to understand that, when you get to that point, it's kind of hard to leave that behind for the unknown. And it takes a lot of fucking balls to do it, and you got to have a lot of good reasons for it. And I'm gonna tell you, I look at my kids and my wife, and that's all I needed to see. Just to be able to be there for them.
And just
You
to
know,
make it clear, Shy, that shit, the way it's done in the paperwork, that little $5 million, whatever the case is, about a wife forfeit, and then if you go back down in the paperwork and you see all those forfeitures, those were not forfeitures, bro. Those were like, or confiscation. Those were me and my brother cooperating and us forcing to have given them that money, and we gave it up voluntarily, and to us that shit didn't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
yeah.
Do we have guns in the house? No, we didn't have the guns. The guns still with the security guard, but we had plenty of those.